It's time to stop rewarding racists and start holding them accountable. Racism against minorities and especially black people has so been normalized, and I think it's important to address it. It is especially unfortunate because it is now modeled by influential people or people that are in power. Today, I want to address the Twitter post of a supposedly renowned conservative commentator. Matt Walsh is an American political commentator and podcast host that is affiliated with Daily Wire, which is a mainstream conservative media. So now, going back to his recent post about Somali immigrants and the death of Renee Good, I really cannot imagine how something like this has ever become acceptable to say to a public audience. And it's especially concerning given his position as a mainstream commentator, who many people unfortunately listen to and look up to. The first sentence is especially problematic because it not only relies on fake stats, because there is actually absolutely no evidence that Somali people have an average IQ of 68. Most of the IQ test results in Africa that you see online can be traced back to a study by a person called Richard Lynn. Richard Lynn was a very incompetent scientist and a white supremacist affiliate who supposedly conducted various IQ tests in many different African countries with a lot of sampling errors, and without accounting for confounding variables. What he essentially did is he conducted an IQ test in the most malnourished and uneducated people in various African countries, oftentimes with a very low sample size, around 15 to 20. And then he projected these extremely flawed samples into the whole of the country in which he took the samples from. Then he used those estimates to derive a value for nearby countries. And Somalia happens to be a country where he actually did not really conduct a sample from. What he essentially did in this case was he took the sample from 15-year-old Ethiopian kids who were affected by things like famine and impoverishment, and then he used his very flawed value from Ethiopia and then projected it onto Somalia, which he then derived a value of 68 for. This is all to say that the main thing that Matt Walsh said is actually quite very inaccurate. But then again, it is likely a deliberate choice made in order to dehumanize the Somali people. Then he called Somali scammers as a collective with no separation of different age groups, different kinds of Somali people. And then he continued to make light of an innocent mother's death. He was essentially trying to make people feel like Somalis were not human enough for anyone to even die for. Hence why he called Renee Good's death a quote-unquote disgrace. This whole act and insult towards a collective group of people is very incompetent and unbecoming for a political commentator. And I think it's important to push for accountability and stop incentivizing very racist people. And I really want to express my sympathy towards people that are affected by his vile rhetoric, especially the Somali people. Thank you for watching.